Deep beneath Gotham City, Waylon finally surfaces from the murky sewage waters and pushes Batman to safety. And Bruce coughs up a lungful of the dirty water and looks back at his mutated friend, now part crocodile, and he gasps, "You saved me." And Waylon pulls his massive body out of the water, staying low as he crawls towards Batman, and he hisses, "Now you save me." And Bruce nods, promising to find a cure, but Waylon opens his mouth wide, showing rows of sharp teeth, and he growls, "No, the hunger, Bruce. It hurts too much. Please save me." And Bruce nods his head in understanding and pulls off one of his ear blades, raising it up and bringing it down quickly, but the blade merely cracks the concrete next to Waylon's head. And Bruce whispers to his friend, "I can't." And Waylon says angrily, "Then I will," as he reaches for the blade, prepared to take his own life. And Bruce says, "What? No," as he kicks him away, and he promises, "We can beat this, Waylon." But Waylon roars in anger at him and leaps back into the water, whispering before disappearing into the darkness, "I should have left you in that place." And Bruce calls out for his friend for a moment, but his body finally gives up and he collapses to the concrete. And memories swirl through his mind as he and Selena are standing in a penthouse apartment overlooking the city while the realtor spouts off details about their lease. And Selena whispers up to Bruce, "Something's bothering you." And he nods gently, telling her, "It's Waylon. I don't know what to do. He's not going to listen to me. He believes that he can win against Bibbo." And Selena nods and pulls herself close to his chest, whispering gently as she looks out over the city, "Then help him win. Do it the same way we got this place. If the rules aren't fair, stop playing by them." And now Bruce wakes up with a gasp and finds Alfred standing over him. And Alfred says softly as he begins to examine Bruce, "Easy, easy. It's been 20 days since I found you collapsed on the floor of this place." But the young man pushes him away, snapping in shock, "20 days?" And Alfred nods as he shines a light in his eyes, telling him, "Yes, and you need a hell of a lot more. The things they did to your body, I'm not sure you can fully comprehend." And he explains that they wove a venom delivery system throughout his spine and brain. But Bruce pushes him aside and reaches for his street clothes, mumbling quickly, "I'm fine, Pennyworth." And Bruce heads out into the city, walking through the streets, but he suddenly stumbles, and he can feel the venom pulsing through his veins, through his mind. And he struggles against it, regaining his sense of self and pushing forward. And finally he arrives at his mother's home, stepping through the front door and standing before her shocked gaze. And she moves and rushes towards him, whispering as she pulls him into a hug, "Oh, thank God." And Bruce whispers to her, "Mom, I'm so sorry." And she pulls away and starts to cry, saying, "I was so scared of getting that phone call again. Every time it rang, and then with what happened to Ozzy." And Bruce stares down at her, fear growing in his eyes, and he asks, "Hold on, Ozzy?" And quickly, they arrive at Gotham General Hospital, and Bruce and Martha push past the cops, with Bruce thanking Mayor Gordon for watching over his mother. And he then pushes past everyone and steps into Oswald's room, and Dr. Leslie Tompkins waits for him, warning him for what he's about to see. And Bruce stares in horror at his friend, and Oswald's body has been broken and twisted beyond recognition. And Leslie whispers, "Bruce, I've never seen anything like this. Whoever did this is an abomination." And days ago, Bane steps into the safe house and looks down at the group of lifelong friends and stares at them. And Ozzy snaps at him, "Who the hell are you supposed to be?" But Bane's arm shoots out impossibly fast and wraps around Ozzy's neck, and he growls before throwing Oswald to the ground, "You want so badly to be big, don't you? The pink gym rat muscles, the lifts in your shoes." And he begins to hit him again and again, the bones crunching with each blow. And Bruce can't look away as Leslie explains that every bone in Oswald's body was broken, that if he survives, he'll be 2 feet shorter and his arms and legs will never be the same, and he'll live in a life of constant pain. And Bruce finally blinks and nods his head and says, "I'll do whatever I can. We all will." And he asks, "Has Harvey come by?" But Leslie shakes her head, saying softly, "Harvey? Did they not tell you? Harvey is in the next room." And Bruce goes to see his next friend, shocked to see half of Harvey's body wrapped in bandages. And Harvey had rushed forward with a bottle of rum, trying to protect his friend. But Bane grabbed him and lifted him off the floor, hissing as he grabbed the bottle and smashed it against the left side of Harvey's face. "Let me guess, the big brother of the group, the protector. You are destined to be a traitor. Your friends are all outlaws. And you with your principles, your ambitions, you think you can be both, outlaw and lawman, friend and enemy. I'll pretend. And the time for pretending is over." And Bane reaches down for a poker chip, setting it on fire and tossing it into the booze. And Harvey begins to scream as the fire reaches his face. And now Harvey glares at Bruce, telling him everything that happened. And Bruce whispers, "I'm so sorry, Harvey. This is all my fault." And Harvey nods his head, his voice gravelly, saying, "Yes, it is. You gambled, Bruce. You put it all out there. Your friends, the city, everything. Now get out of here." And Harvey growls at him, and Bruce turns to walk away, but Harvey calls out to him, and for a brief moment, his voice has returned to normal. And he whispers, "If it's any consolation though, I only hate you half the time." And Bruce quickly leaves the hospital and heads toward Edward's. And he finds his friend in the dark, with wires dangling from the ceiling. And Bruce steps forward, his eyes widened in horror. And Edward says softly, as Bruce reaches for him, "I'm fine, Bruce, just over here working. He didn't hurt me. He challenged me to a battle of wits. He said if I won, he'd let me kill him. He even handed me his gun. Can you believe it?" And he explains that it only took a minute for Bane to beat him. And then the killer reached for his head, gouging his eyes out, and before he knew it, Bane shook him, slamming the front of his brain into his skull, the frontal lobe, the part responsible for intelligence. And Eddie says, "I could feel it. It was wild. Suddenly facts became questions. Questions everywhere." And he lifts his head and almost looks at Bruce, his brain exposed where he has connected the wires to it. And he whispers, "He helped me. He challenged me. He challenged all of us to become more, to become what we're meant to be." And Bruce grits his teeth at his friend, starting to say, "Eddie, we need to get you to a hospital." But suddenly he doubles over in pain as he feels the venom pumping through his system once again. And Eddie smiles at him, saying, "Looks like he challenged you too, Bruce. So riddle me this. What are you going to do about it?" And later, Bruce returns to his bunker and finds Alfred preparing for war. And Bruce changes and reaches out to his other allies, ordering them to stand down. And he says to the red-hooded person on the other line, "It's off." And the person shouts, "Off? Nothing's off. You don't get to tell the Red Hood gang anything." But Batman hangs up. And he hangs his head and looks to Alfred. And Alfred asks as he straps on his body armor, "So that's it, kid. Are you closing down operations?" And Batman slams his hand against the desk. And Batman hisses, "He broke them, Pennyworth, my friends." And Alfred nods in understanding, saying, "That's right, he did. The question is, are you going to let him break you?" And the older man asks, and suddenly red lights begin to flash, and Batman hisses as the bunker is plunged into darkness. "Someone's breached the hatch. It's him. He's here." And Alfred whispers, "Bane." And he reaches down into his weapons locker and pulls out a minigun, readying the massive weapon, and he says, "All right, he loves war so much, let's bloody give it to him," as Batman stands behind him with his battle axe. And Batman slips into the shadows as Alfred moves forward, readying his weapon. But something reaches out from the shadows and pulls him up, punching him in the face twice before dropping him unconscious to the floor. And Batman steps out of the shadows and glares at their intruder, hissing, "You, what are you doing here?" And Selena frowns at him, saying, "Well, hello to you too, Bruce."